Hello, everyone. Welcome back to English Learn, Apply, Repeat. I'm so happy you're here with us today.
Hey, everyone. Great to see you all. Anna, can I ask you something before we start? Have you ever challenged yourself to do something difficult for a whole day?
Oh, yes. One time I tried to drink no coffee for a whole day. I lasted until 10 o'clock in the morning. Then I gave up completely.
10 o'clock. That is not bad, actually. I tried to eat no sugar for a week. I lasted 2 days.
We are not good at challenges, Smith.
We really are not. But today's family, they tried something much more interesting than no coffee and no sugar.
Today on English Learn, Apply, Repeat, we have a story about a family who decided to try something wonderful, difficult, funny, and slightly chaotic. They decided to speak only English for one whole day.
One whole day. No other language allowed. Just English, from breakfast to bedtime. And by the end of this episode, you will be able to use 4 very important English structures. Could, couldn't, try to, and manage to. These are the words we use when we talk about ability, effort, and success or failure. These are words you use every single day when you talk about what you did, what you attempted, and whether or not you succeeded. They are essential for any A2 learner.
You will also learn 10 vocabulary words connected to language learning and challenges. And most importantly, this story will remind you that making mistakes in English is not embarrassing. It is brave, it is brilliant, and it is exactly how you learn.
Comment prompt. Have you ever tried to speak English for a whole day? Or do you want to try? Tell us in the comments right now. Before we begin, have you ever tried to speak English for a whole day? Or would you like to try? Tell us in the comments. And welcome to Simple English Talks. Please subscribe if you are new here. We post every week just for you.
Our story begins on a Sunday morning. The Patel family, mom, dad, and 2 children, 14-year-old Sam and 10-year-old Priya, and one very ambitious plan.
It was Sam's idea. Sam was 14, studying English at school, and absolutely convinced that the best way to improve was to use it in real life. So one Friday evening at dinner, he made an announcement.
What did he say?
He put down his fork, looked around the table, and said, "I think we should do an English-only day on Sunday. No other language, just English. The whole family."
14 years old and already running family experiments.
His mom looked surprised, his dad looked nervous, and his little sister Priya, 10 years old, looked at him like he had suggested they live on the moon.
What did Priya say?
She said, in their home language, "I don't want to." And Sam said, in English, "That is exactly why we should do it."
He had an answer for everything.
Their dad was a maths teacher. He was comfortable reading English, but speaking it made him nervous. Their mom had studied English years ago, but hadn't used it in a long time. And Priya? She knew a few words. Hello, goodbye, thank you, and the names of about 15 animals.
That is actually quite a good start. 15 animal names.
Very useful if you meet a lot of animals on a Sunday. So the family agreed. Sunday, English only, all day. They called it the English Day Challenge.
Let's look at some vocabulary. The first word is challenge. A challenge is something difficult that tests your ability. It requires effort. The English Day Challenge, something difficult they were going to attempt.
Second word, attempt. To attempt means to try to do something, especially something difficult. You might succeed or you might not, but you make the effort. They attempted to speak English all day.
Third word, fluent. If you are fluent in a language, you can speak it easily, smoothly, and naturally without stopping to think too much. Sam was not fluent yet, but he was determined to practice.
Fourth word, determined. If you are determined, you have made a strong decision to do something, and you will not give up easily. Determined, full of purpose and will.
And fifth word, struggle. To struggle means to have difficulty doing something. You try hard, but it is not easy. Dad struggled to find the right words. Comment prompt. Which word describes you as an English learner? Determined? Struggling? Both? Tell us in the comments. Sunday morning arrived. The alarm went off at 7:30, and the English Day Challenge officially began.
Now, let's meet our grammar, because this story is completely built around ability. What the family could do in English, what they couldn't do, what they tried to do, and what they finally managed to do.
Let's start with could and couldn't. These are the past forms of can and cannot. We use could to talk about ability in the past, something you were able to do, and couldn't, short for could not, for something you were not able to do.
The structure is simple. Subject plus could plus base verb. Or subject plus couldn't plus base verb. Sam could understand most English words when he read them. Dad couldn't remember the word for the kitchen tap.
At breakfast, the very first meal of English Day, Dad sat down, looked at the orange juice on the table, and said, completely seriously, "I would like the orange wet thing."
The orange wet thing. He couldn't remember the word juice.
He couldn't say juice. He knew what he wanted. He just couldn't find the word. This is a very real moment for every language learner.
Sam passed him the orange juice and said, gently, "Juice, Dad. It's called juice." And Dad said, "Juice. Yes, I could say that. I just didn't."
I could say that. I just didn't. A very honest sentence.
Notice could here means he was able to. He had the ability. He just didn't use it in that moment. So could is about ability, having the power or skill to do something.
And couldn't is the opposite. You didn't have the ability, or the ability wasn't available to you in that moment. Priya couldn't say, "Pass the butter, please." She pointed at the butter and said, "Yellow," which worked perfectly well.
Yellow. Actually, brilliant problem solving.
Mom could say, "Good morning," and "This is delicious." She had remembered those from her classes years ago. But she couldn't remember how to ask, "Can you open the window, please?" So she just opened it herself.
Very efficient. Who needs language when you have action?
Let's practice. I'll give you a situation. You make a sentence with could or couldn't. Ready? Situation. You learned to ride a bike when you were 7. Tell me.
I could ride a bike when I was 7. Could, ability in the past. Subject plus could plus base verb.
Now, you tried to remember a word in English, but you forgot it. Tell me.
I couldn't remember the word. Couldn't, no ability in that moment. Subject plus couldn't plus base verb. Your turn. Pause and say it out loud. When I first started learning English, I could, but I couldn't.
Say your sentence right now. When I first started learning English, I could, but I couldn't. Then write it in the comments. We will read every one. Comment prompt. Complete the sentence. When I first started learning English, I could, but I couldn't. Write it in the comments. To summarize, could, past ability, something you were able to do. Couldn't, past inability, something you were not able to do. Subject plus could plus couldn't plus base verb. Always the base verb. No S, no ED, no ING after could or couldn't.
By mid-morning, the Patel family was in full English Day mode. They had moved from the breakfast table to the living room, and things were getting more adventurous.
What happened?
Dad tried to explain to Sam how to fix a broken shelf in English with tools and instructions he didn't know the words for.
Oh no. Oh, that is a very specific vocabulary challenge.
He said, and I love this, "Sam, please give me the long metal hitting thing?"
The long metal hitting thing. He was trying to say hammer.
He was trying. And this is our next grammar point. Try to. We use try to when we make an effort to do something. We attempt it. We put in the work, but we may or may not succeed.
The structure: subject plus tried to plus base verb. Dad tried to explain the instructions. Priya tried to ask for more water. Mom tried to tell a joke in English.
Oh, Mum's joke. We need to talk about Mum's joke.
Yes, Mom tried to tell a joke in English. She had memorized one joke. She was very proud of it. She said, "Why did the bread go to the doctor?" And the family said, "Why?" And she said, "Because it was feeling crummy."
That is actually a very good joke. Crummy means feeling bad, but crumbs are the little pieces that fall off bread. So it is a wordplay.
And the family laughed, not because the joke was confusing, but because it was perfect. Mum managed to tell a joke in English.
Manage to. This is our fourth structure, and it is the most satisfying one. We use manage to when we successfully do something that was difficult. You tried and you succeeded. The effort paid off.
The structure: subject plus managed to plus base verb. Mum managed to tell a joke. Sam managed to explain the shelf in English. And Priya, by 11 o'clock, managed to say a complete sentence.
What was her sentence?
She looked at the family cat, who was sitting in a patch of sunlight, and said very slowly and carefully, "The cat is happy today."
5 words. Perfect grammar. Completely correct. And her mom started crying.
Happy tears again. This family has a lot of happy tears.
The best kind. Now, the key difference between try to and manage to. Try to is about the effort, the attempt. Manage to is about the result, the success. You can try to do something and fail, but when you manage to do something, you succeeded.
For example, Dad tried to say hammer, but he couldn't manage to remember the word. Priya tried to speak English all morning, and she managed to say a full sentence by 11 o'clock.
Try to, the attempt. Manage to, the achievement. Both are important. Both are real. Your turn. Say it out loud. I tried to blank in English, and I managed to blank. Comment prompt. Tell us. I tried to blank in English, and I managed to blank. Or, I tried to blank in English, but I couldn't manage to blank. Write it in the comments.
Write your sentence in the comments. Did you try something in English and succeed? Did you try and struggle? Both are valid. Both are worth sharing. We want to hear your story. The afternoon was the hardest part. By 2 o'clock, everyone was tired. Speaking a different language all day uses a lot of mental energy. Dad had a headache, Priya had gone very quiet, and Mom had accidentally asked for the thing you use to make clothes flat for about 4 minutes before someone realized she meant an iron. An iron! She couldn't remember the word iron?
She tried to describe it for 4 minutes. She managed to describe it so well that Dad eventually guessed it. That in itself was an achievement.
And Sam? How was the challenge creator doing?
Sam was doing well, but not perfectly. He tried to explain a complicated idea about football to his dad and discovered that he didn't know the English words for referee or penalty. He could say the man in black who makes the rules and the special kick when someone does something wrong.
Huh! Actually, very clear descriptions. You could understand exactly what he meant.
That is the magic of language learning. When you don't know the word, you find another way. You describe, you gesture, you use what you have.
Let's look at more vocabulary. Word 6. Describe. To describe means to use words to explain what something looks like, feels like, or means. When you don't know a word, describe it. It's the long metal hitting thing. That is a description. Word 7. Gesture. A gesture is a movement of your hands or body to communicate something. Pointing, nodding, shrugging, these are all gestures. When words fail, gestures help. Word 8. Communicate. To communicate means to share information or feelings with another person. You can communicate with words, gestures, drawings, or even just expressions on your face.
Word 9. Attempt. We already met this word. To attempt means to try something difficult. The attempt is the effort you make. The family's attempt to speak English for a whole day was brave and beautiful.
And word 10? Progress. Progress means improvement over time, moving forward, getting better. Priya made real progress today. She managed to say a full sentence.
At 6 o'clock in the evening, the family sat down for dinner. 9 hours of English. And Dad made an announcement.
What did he say?
He stood up, looked around the table, and said, in careful, deliberate English, "Today was very difficult. I could not say many things I wanted to say. I tried to speak, and sometimes I failed. But I managed to communicate. And I am proud of us."
Oh, that is genuinely moving.
And then Priya, 10 years old, very serious, said, "Dad, the word is juice."
Ha! She remembered from breakfast. 9 hours later.
Dad laughed so hard he had to sit down. The whole family laughed. And at the dinner table, in their home, in English, they were completely, utterly, perfectly happy. Comment prompt. What was the hardest English word or phrase you ever tried to learn? Tell us in the comments.
What is the hardest English word or phrase you have ever tried to learn? Tell us in the comments. And did you manage to learn it? Or are you still trying? We want to know.
Time for common mistakes. These are mistakes I hear all the time with could, couldn't, try to, and manage to. And once you know them, they are very easy to fix. Mistake number 1. Using could instead of was able to for a single specific event. Could is generally used for general ability in the past, something you could always do. But for one specific occasion, we prefer was able to or managed to. Not, yesterday I could finish the test. Better, yesterday I managed to finish the test. Or, yesterday I was able to finish the test. Could is for general ability. I could swim when I was 5. Managed to is for a specific success. I managed to swim across the river last summer. Mistake number 2. Adding ing or ed after try to or manage to. The verb after try to and manage to is always the base form. Not, she tried to speaking English. Not, he managed to finish the challenge. Just, she tried to speak. He managed to finish. Base verb only. After try to, base verb. After manage to, base verb. Always. No exceptions. Mistake number 3. Confusing try to and manage to. Learners sometimes use them interchangeably, but they mean different things. Try to is the effort. Manage to is the success. I tried to learn 20 words. I made the effort. I managed to learn 20 words. I succeeded. If you say, I managed to try, that sounds very strange. You managed to do something. You try to do something. Keep them in their correct places. Mistake number 4. Using could in the negative when couldn't is needed. Some learners write, I could not to say the word, with an extra to. But couldn't and could not are followed directly by the base verb. I couldn't say the word. No to between couldn't and the verb. Could not say. Couldn't remember. Couldn't find. Never couldn't to say. The to is not needed after could or couldn't. Comment prompt, which mistake do you think you make most? 1, 2, 3, or 4? Write your answer in the comments. Which of these mistakes do you make? Tell us in the comments. Honestly, number 1, 2, 3, or 4.
Knowing your mistakes is the beginning of fixing them, and we're here to help.
Practice time. I will give you a situation. You complete the sentence using could, couldn't, tried to, or managed to. Say your answer out loud right now. Situation 1. When Priya was 10 years old, she knew the names of 15 animals in English. Tell me, what could she do?
She could name 15 animals in English. Could, general ability. Subject plus could plus base verb.
Situation 2. Dad wanted to say orange juice at breakfast, but forgot the word. Tell me.
Dad couldn't remember the word juice. Couldn't? He didn't have the ability in that moment.
Situation 3. Mom worked very hard to memorize an English joke. She told it perfectly. Tell me.
Mom managed to tell a joke in English. Managed to, she tried, and she succeeded.
Situation 4. Sam attempted to explain the football rules in English, but he didn't know all the words.
Sam tried to explain the football rules, but couldn't manage to find all the right words. Tried to, the effort. Couldn't manage to, the difficulty.
Now, your final challenge. Think about your own English learning. Write one sentence using each structure. Could, couldn't, tried to, managed to. 4 sentences about your English journey. Your challenge. Write 4 sentences. 1 with could, 1 with couldn't, 1 with tried to, 1 with managed to, about your English learning. Comment prompt. Write your 4 sentences about your English journey. Could, couldn't, tried to, managed to. Post them in the comments. We will reply to everyone. Write your 4 sentences in the comments. This is the most personal and the most powerful practice we can give you because it is about your real experience, your real progress, your real English.
What a story! The Patel family. One Sunday, 9 hours of English. Orange wet things and long metal hitting things and jokes about bread. And a 10-year-old who remembered the word juice 9 hours later.
And such real, important English grammar. Let me tell you exactly what we learned today. Number 1, could, for past ability, something you were able to do. She could name 15 animals. Number 2, couldn't, for past inability, something you were not able to do. He couldn't remember the word juice. Number 3, tried to, for the effort and attempt, whether you succeed or not. Mum tried to tell a joke. Number 4, managed to, for successful achievement. You tried and you did it. She managed to say a full sentence.
And the grammar rule. After could, couldn't, try to, and manage to, always the base verb. No ing, no ed, no extra to after could or couldn't. Just the base verb, every time.
This story is really about every English learner, because every one of you is doing exactly what the Patel family did. You are trying. Sometimes you can't find the word. Sometimes you struggle, but you keep going. And slowly, beautifully, you manage to communicate. Comment prompt challenge. Could you speak only English for one whole day? What would be the hardest part for you? Write it in the comments. Be honest. We love honest answers. If you enjoyed today's episode, please give it a like. It truly helps Simple English Talks reach more learners like you. Share it with someone who is learning English, and subscribe for a new episode every single week. You are braver than you think. You are better than you think. And every time you try, whether you manage to or not, you are growing. We are so proud of you. Keep going. This is English Learn, Apply, Repeat. Thank you for being here. We'll see you next time.